everyone, it's Ketchy, aka OBiGem. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification button to be notified of all future videos. And if you like what you see, please do hit the like button so I know to keep making content just like this. So it has been a while since I've done a video. There are reasons for that, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But what I am going to get into is my excitement over the new pack for rent. So I am not a creator that has early access, so I'm not going to be able to show you anything from the new pack really. But since they announced the pack, I've been so excited. So I've been doing a lot of building. I know, that is not normally my bag, but lately that's what I have been doing. Lots of building of multi-unit builds, which even before For Rent came out, that's been like one of the things that I've been really enjoying building. So I'm going to show you in this video some multi-unit builds that you can use in your game as soon as For Rent drops. So to start us right off, I'm going to show you the first build that I finished in this time period that we've been waiting for the pack to come out, which is a duplex. This one is called the Crescent Square Duplex. There are 2 units here for 2 families to live in. I'm going to go ahead and give you the tour of what this will look like for your Sims to move into. So coming into the unit, you'll have this nice landing when you open the door, where you can kind of put in, the things that you find in the opening entrance of your home when you furnish it. And just to let you know, for all of these builds I'll be showing you in this video, they're all move-in ready. That means that they're all unfurnished, with the exception of plumbing, things in your kitchens, just stoves and counters. So once I show you that, you'll get to see that. But for the most part, these are ready for your Sims to move in and decorate with their own things. That's the intent of all the builds I made before For Rent, for people to kind of furnish them however they want and kind of simulate their Sims moving into a brand new home, which I personally like to do. So that is what is going on in these builds. So you can come in here, in this area after you come into the house, you can use as a living room area for your Sims to watch TV and hang out with the other family members. And then when they come out here, it's just a hallway. They can either go out to this door, which can lead them to the backyard where they can hang out, or they can come over here where there's a bedroom on this side and a full bath on this side. This one's a little bit larger than the one that's upstairs. If you come in here, you see that the sinks are separated from the bathtub. There is not a toilet in this bottom. Wait, hold on. There's supposed to be a toilet in this bathroom. What am I saying? There's supposed to be a toilet in this bathroom. We're gonna put that right here. I don't know why that didn't carry over, but yes, there's supposed. I feel like an EA builder right now. You remember in the Get Famous Fact where there's a bunch of builds where there's just like no toilets? I'm an EA builder right now. There's a really nice tub on the other half of this bathroom, as well as a washer dryer inside this unit. And just so you guys know, this duplex, these 2 units mirror each other, so they look exactly the same, just mirrored on the other side, so that what you get in this unit you'll also get in this unit. So when you come down the hallway, you come into the kitchen. It's a pretty nice size, and it's very minty. It's almost not so very minty. Like, I was still playing mid-gen with Glade. This would be like a kitchen he'd probably really enjoy. But it's very minty. I did use the I think the Jungle Adventure counters are what these ones are in this kitchen, so it's super nice. So off the kitchen, there's actually a door where you can go off onto the deck and go out into the backyard. There's nothing in the backyard as far as like things for your Sims to do. I did differentiate the backyards from this unit versus that unit. In my mind, maybe this family might have a child, so they'd want, the unit that had the monkey bars in it, but this one's pretty empty for you to kind of include your own activities in the backyard that you see fit. On the top floor, after you go up the stairs, you'll find 2 more bedrooms and a smaller bathroom. I really like this mirror that came in werewolves, so I put that in both units. And then when you come around the bend from the bathroom, you'll find 2 bedrooms. These ones are markedly smaller than the ones downstairs. This one's smaller than the one that's at the end of the hall. So, you know, this is for like a smaller family, I would imagine. That is what the crescent square duplexes look like. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the second build that I've been working on and prep for rent. So this next build is an apartment building complex. I had a lot of fun making this. Before I made this one, I had only ever made one other apartment complex building, and I was never really happy with that one. This one I was way happier with how it turned out. This building is made for middle income families for the most part. Maybe some people who are like on the little come up, since the bottom units are a little bit, you know, older than the top units, and you can tell once I show you those. But we're gonna go ahead and tour the units now. So just like with the duplexes, the units on this side mirror the ones that are on that side. They're the exact same, and on the bottom floor the units are a little bit older, and you can kind of tell that by the decor I used for the kitchen. I used like the kind of like older looking fridge and like the orangish like kind of like old grody looking swatch, and I did use the base game counters. To me, these counters are kind of like what you expect to see in like cheaper houses, so I typically don't really use these as much, but for like an older looking build, a shabbier looking build, it made sense to use those type of counters. If you come over here off of the kitchen, there's a little landing area where there's the sink outside of the bathroom and a little like toiletry area for the sim to kind of keep their like towels and like extra toilet paper, soaps, and things like that. When you come in through here, there's the shower tub combo from Growing Together that is just so good, and I have just been using it in everything, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people have been too. And across from the tub and the toilet, there's this counter and top shelves and a washer dryer in unit. That's why I say that this apartment complex is kind of nicer, because I don't know about you, but as far as like rental units, at least like all the ones that I lived in, having an in-apartment in-unit washer dryer is kind of rare, unless it's like maybe nicer. So in my mind, since this is like in a nicer area, Willow Creek's kind of like a nicer world, like all of these units kind of have washer dryer appliances inside of the unit. So these ones at the bottom are 1-bedroom apartments. In my mind, like this smaller room you could use as like an office area since it's so small. But hey, if you wanted to, let's say you have like a sim that has like an infant, you could turn this into like a nursery, or maybe they like got pregnant after they moved in, they could turn this office space into a nursery. You could make it a bedroom, but it's really small. It's a 4x4 box of a room. There's not like a whole lot of space in here. I wouldn't recommend having like more than like 2 or 3 sims live in these 1-bedroom units, just because this like office area is just like not that big. In this area over here, you would probably have your living stuff. It could be your entertainment area where you could put like a couch and TV, and like maybe if you wanted like a table over here for your kitchen, you could do that as well. These bottom cheaper units have a stove and no oven, so that's something you keep in mind if this is like a complex you want to use and play out stories. But over here on the top floor, these units are nicer, and you can automatically tell that they were maybe like renovated, these upstairs apartments, to like look nicer. And this kitchen area, it looks similar to the downstairs one, with the main difference being that these kitchens have a full stove that has an oven, and the washer dryer is actually in the kitchen in these top units. The bathroom in the top unit is a little bit smaller, so the washer dryer just didn't fit in it. Things are kind of organized just a little bit differently. Like instead of there, being a washer dryer here, it's just flushed to the wall in this one where it's there. Upstairs, there are 2 pretty decently sized bedrooms here. In service of a slightly smaller bedroom, you get a slightly smaller bathroom. You get a little bit of a bigger bedroom here, so These upstairs units are nice if you have like a slightly bigger family. Then you can kind of have them rent out one of the nicer upstairs units. If I were to set this complex up as a residential rental, I'd probably charge more rent for these ones up here versus the ones down here. So when I get the new pack, I will make that determination and re-upload them. The nice thing I like about this complex is I made it look really realistic with vending machines in the hall as you come up the stairs, and they're also in the bottom hall and these bottom floor units. And I got some gallery no CC paintings that were numbers and letters so I can give the units some identification with numbers and units. I think that kind of makes it look a little bit more realistic as an apartment. In the back, there's a really big common area that your Sims can come and hang out. On the one side, there's this dog park, so this is a dog-friendly apartment complex, so you can bring out your dogs out here to kind of get some fresh air and play around safely within this little dog park. And right next to the dog park is a pool area. It's super cute and nice. And one thing I really love about this pool area, I was watching a YouTube short where they taught you like a little trick to make a pool area that has like a little splash area for toddlers and infants. So I used that trick here on this pool, and I did test it. It works. If you have like a toddler, they can come down here and splash in this area while their parents are swimming in the pool. So, you know, toddlers can't swim in the pools and infants can't either. So like if you have like a family that wants to rent this apartment in this complex that has an infant or a toddler, you can have them bring their toddler and infant over to the splash area. The toddler can independently play in this, and then the adults can bring their little infants to like dip their feet inside this little splash area right here, which is really nice. There's also a splash area for the kids to kind of splash around right here with these splash pads that came with growing together, as well as a jacuzzi area for your Sims to come and hang out with on the cooler nights where they just want someplace a little bit warmer to hang out with friends and family. Lastly, I did have a whole lot of fun making this parking lot on both ends of the apartment complex. It was really nice. I did use like these no CC art signs for handicap parking that I found on the gallery, as well as this handicap sign here, which is so cool. I cannot take credit for this. As you can see, like someone sized down the little rugs here and made this handicap symbol for like a parking space. I found it on a parking lot room in the gallery, and I saved this part of it into a smaller room so I could superimpose it on the parking lot I made. I'm going to find the gallery ID of the person who came up with that so I can give them credit for that little trick. I wish I was that ingenious. I'm just not. I didn't make the rest of the parking lot, so there's that. If there's one rule that really disappointed me as far as lots and just making the world feel alive and lived in, it was Delo Valley. I like this world in theory, but it's always been very unusable for me because there's just not enough lots for there to be upward mobility from your Sims being struggling and figuring out life in the city and being straight on rich, considering there's a poor neighborhood and a filthy rich neighborhood and no in between. So with this new pack, I really started to think about how we can make Delo way more viable, and through that, over Thanksgiving break, I started really developing the Mirage Park area, that neighborhood on the map. That's where, you know, kind of lesser income houses were. I thought, like, what if we kind of maximize the huge lots that exist inside of that part of the map so that even more families could live in this world, and you kind of have more of a transition as far as your Sims kind of building their money up and kind of moving higher and higher up the scale to nicer houses instead of making that huge jump from living in, you know, crappy houses to living in a mansion. So through that, I made several houses in this neighborhood that I will be showing you next. The first of which is this plot right here, which I named on my gallery the Pastures Housing Project. On this lot, there is a whopping 6 units, so I maxed out the number of units you can have within, you know, one lot without using cheats. Right here, as you can see in the front, there are 2 duplexes. So there are 4 units up front, a unit here, here, and here, and here. and they each have their own 1-car garage. The house unit on the ends are a little bit bigger, so their garages are actually 2-car garages. The units on the inside are a little bit smaller and only have a 1-car garage. They all have a little bit of a small backyard, and right behind those units are 2 trailers. So I was really excited to make these because I've never made trailers before, but I really wanted to make them for, you know, this pack as far as making like multi-unit lots. And I was excited to make them. As soon as I started developing the shape of them and what they look like, right away when I decided on the colorless vinyl, it really felt like an upgraded, like, Brandy Broke trailer, this one right over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what the trailers look like first. So the trailers are both 2-bedroom, 1-bath trailers. They don't have like attached garages like the duplexes, but they do have this garage storage space that, in my mind, these 2 trailer owners share this. So to me that's like super realistic. If we go down a floor, we can see inside. So as soon as you walk in, you're walking in on the living room area where you can put your couch and your TV. There's a small little kitchen if you go straight ahead off from that area. If you want to have like a kitchen table, you could probably put one in this area on the other side of your entertainment area over here. And then right off of the kitchen, you can go down the hall. Down the hall, you'll find your 2 bedrooms. And then right across from that smaller room, like I mentioned, is like a pretty large size bathroom. This is pretty decent size for, especially for a trailer. I mean, not just for a trailer, it's honestly pretty large for bathrooms for me. Generally, I'll make bathrooms that are about like a third of this size. That's what my average bathroom looks like. So like this one's pretty big. And like I mentioned with all the multi-units I tend to mirror them. So this yellow trailer it's the exact same as this pink trailer, just mirrored. Same amount of rooms, same amount of bathrooms. So we're gonna go back over to the duplexes. Like I mentioned, there are 4 of these. For the most part, they mirror each other, but kind of not really. So the end units mirror each other. Like I mentioned, those ones are bigger than the ones in the middle, and the middle units mirror each other. So the ones on the end, they have the same number of bedrooms, and the only difference between the end units and the ones in the middle is that the ones on the end have a ensuite half bath on the main, like, biggest bedroom, so that would be the master bedroom, whereas the ones in the middle only have a single bathroom. The larger, like, master bedroom does not have the ensuite. So as you can see, these duplexes are a little bit tight. It was a little bit of a challenge doing the floor plan, and if I'm being honest, I'd probably want to change the direction that this would here. Don't know why I had it going that way. These are already on the gallery, so when I re-upload these to be residential rentals, I'll probably change the direction of that so that it's not going in that direction. Anyway, so if you come in through here, like I said, this floor plan was a big challenge. I think I floor planned this like 3 or 4 times trying to figure it out. So you kind of have to be really smart with how you arrange stuff in here so that you have room for your like living room area, your dining room area for where your Sims eat and everything. So in my mind, you could kind of turn this into like your living room area, put like a TV and a couch in this area. And the kitchen is pretty small, so it'd be very tricky to fit in a eat-in kitchen table in here unless you're only planning to have like a few Sims in here. You can maybe get away with like fitting a 3 or 4 person sit-in table in here, but just for routing issues, I probably would put a table inside this kitchen. Instead, my recommendation is to put the table right over here in this hall area. You could fit in a decent table with at least 5 or 6 chairs if you placed up against this wall. That's my recommendation. And then when you come down this hallway, that's where you get to the 2 smaller bedrooms. The bedrooms in these duplexes are tiny, so you're gonna have to like really really kind of be smart about how you place furniture in these bedrooms. Like for instance, I wouldn't give your kids like a double bed. Maybe you might want to utilize a one of those bunk beds so that maybe your kid that sleeps in here has room for like a desk and other things in here, like a lofted bunk bed that's like over top of desk, so you can kind of maximize the space in these kind of smaller bedrooms. That would be my best recommendation. Off of the kitchen, you can go in here into the garage. Off of the garage, you can go off into the small backyard area. These aren't particularly large backyard spaces, so I mean, if you wanted to put like a grill and maybe a table out here, maybe like one activity for like outside, you could do out here, but it's not like a huge space, so I wouldn't recommend loading it with a bunch of activities if you can help it. Your living room space is a tiny bit narrower in the middle units, as you can kind of tell. So yeah, like I mentioned, you might want to be a little bit smarter about how you arrange furniture in here so that you can have like a living room area and space that your Sims can congregate in and kind of relax and hang out in. So right next to the Pastures Housing Project, I have the Sunset Heights apartment building. So whereas the Alto Gardens apartment complex that I have in Mill Creek is for more middle income families, this is very clearly a more low income apartment complex for lower income families to rent. The way I decorated is as such too, as you'll see when we head inside, but you can even tell from the outside of the building that this is maybe a place that's not as well kept. Maybe there's shadies going on around this building, and the people who live here may not have, the highest income of jobs, but hey, everyone has a right to have a roof over their head. So this apartment building was created so that people who may not have a whole lot of money can still have a place that they can call home. So when you come into the apartment complex, there is a lobby area for this apartment building. My mind, like the staff that like rents the apartments out to people will sit back here, and if you have like a grievance about your apartment, you can come to them, let them know that you need assistance with something, or maybe you have to pay a rent late, and you can come down here and tell them that. I also like put these little shelves back here because there is like a mailbox area across from the little reception desk for this apartment building where you can get your mail. But let's say you ordered a package that obviously wouldn't fit in your mailbox, and you would come up to the reception desk and they would, I guess, come and get your package out from one of these shelves. If you like, I personally didn't do it, but like if you wanted to like add like an extra touch of realism, you could put like little like labels on these shelves for like apartment units that these packages belong to, whatever you so choose. It just depends on what you want to do. So if you come around the bend from the office, there's a stairwell that leads up to the units, but if you go straight ahead through this door, you will find a little vending machine area where your Sims can get some snacks, and a communal laundry area where they can wash and dry their clothes. Another nicer thing that this apartment building has, despite it being lower income, is its own workout room. Your Sim can come in here and do a little bit of yoga, run on the treadmill, lift some weights, punch in the punching bag. They've got all types of options for working out. So on the first floor of apartments, these apartment units do not mirror each other. The unit on the left side is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and it's like that on every single floor, whereas the one on the right is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and the configuration on the second floor is different than the one on the first and third for these units. As you can see, these apartment buildings are a little bit worse for wear. I used a lot of the city living kind of shabbier TLC type of items for these apartments. As you can see, the older looking beat up fridge, the beat up counters, and the beat up vinyl are all from city living, so you definitely need that pack if you have or if you want to use this build. I also use some of the cats and dogs items. They give some of these apartment units some rodent issues, so there are a couple mouse holes, so if your Sim lives inside this apartment, they will have to deal with that, so that is something to keep in mind. And like I mentioned, the configuration of the 2-bedroom is different on this next floor. The bedrooms are right next to each other, and the kitchen is a little bit bigger in the one in the middle floor. I had to change up the configuration of this floor unit stuff because I think the window placement made it so that I couldn't exactly have it look like it does on this floor or on the top floor because of that. So I did kind of change the layout on that one, but I really enjoyed making the outdoor space for this apartment building. If you come around back, there's a little park area, and when we get the park, I'll probably put the hopscotch right here for the kids. I think that'll be like a nice addition right next to the little playground area with the swings and the monkey bars. There's a little basketball court. I did use the more damaged looking basketball hoop for it to just like look like it's been like worse for wear. And like off the lot, you can kind of see I used to like werewolves debug a little abandoned house over there, so like this area look a little bit more worse for wear. And I have this little bike rack over here. I did see in the patch that we got today that we did get like deco bike rack, so if I upload this to the gallery, I might update this bike area to have the fake deco bike racks. I kind of just use the debug items that we have already to mimic like a bike rack area over here. I think it looks okay, but I do like that we have actual bike racks, so I'll probably use those. So the last lot in this area is the Upland Place lot where Vanessa Zhang lives. I actually just did this lot over the weekend, so this is not on the gallery yet, but probably after I finish this video I'll put it on the gallery, as because I was supposed to do that on Monday. Don't tell nobody, but originally this lot had a single house on it, but it was like a poor use of space. Vanessa's house was like on this side, and then there was a lot of side yard area and then like a lot of backyard area, and it was just like poor utilization of space. In my opinion, it's a pretty big lot and not a lot of it was being used up, so I turned it into a 2-house lot. Vanessa lives in this house, and this house is where you could move in like a different sim to kind of live there. When I was posting about it on Twitter, I had the idea that perhaps Vanessa has a rival in the acting career who moves in next door, and they're, you know, both competing constantly for the same roles to make it to the top of the acting career. So that's my story that I'm going to go with for who moves into this house, but you kind of can do your own thing. Like with all the other multi-lot houses I've done, the two lots mirror each other as far as configuration of the rooms. Unlike those other lots I've done, I actually did furnish one. Since Vanessa already lives here, I furnished this house for Vanessa, but I left this house vacant completely. Like, I didn't even put any appliances. It's not really move-in ready, but I did put down floors and walls. And as far as like you putting in your counters and stove and stuff for the bathroom, you kind of use Vanessa's house to kind of mirror, or I guess take inspiration for where you want to put your own counters. But I kind of just like left that blank since I did furnish Vanessa's house. So I actually had a fun time furnishing Vanessa's house. It's been a while since I furnished anything for a build, as I've been like doing all these multi-unit builds and leaving them move-in ready and not furnishing. I actually did have fun furnishing this one. Both houses are 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom houses, but you could easily turn this room over here into a 2nd bedroom if you want to treat it as such. It's not a large room, so like in my mind it's like an area that you could use for an office, but it's bigger than like the office space I had in the Alto Gardens 1-bedroom apartments. So if you did have like a family that had like a child, you could kind of easily turn this into like a smaller bedroom for that child and turn it into a 2-bedroom 1 bath. Since Vanessa lives here by herself, I just turned this extra bonus room into like an area where she comes to work out and practice her lines, and, you know, maybe practice singing, because I know for the acting career, that's one of the skills that you have to work on as you move up the ranks in that career. So I did that in this room. And I put some decals in here to kind of reflect Vanessa's personality a little bit. So this boombox over here she can listen to while she works out. But something to keep in mind is I did have to use the 9 key to raise it up onto this cabinet, since there's unfortunately not any slots on top of this. So if you want to have Vanessa use this to like listen to music, If you click on it and click listen to, she won't actually be able to interact with it that way, because since it's being raised up, she technically can't reach it. So, but it is like halfway functional, because just like with any other electronic musical item in this game, if you click on it and put on turn on music, it'll still work. She just won't be able to use a little remote to like turn on and off or switch channels with it, which is kind of a bummer. If you hate it, you can kind of like replace this with something that has like slots on top of it, so that it's like actually sitting on something and not raised up on top of it. When you come out through here, there's actually like a lot of space in this house as far as like areas to store stuff. Like I do like this entrance area, it's like very cute. I put this little table in my mind because I was really trying to like get into Vanessa's personality and the type of person she is. You know that these sim profiles for a lot of these pre-mades are like so bare bones, kind of have to like fill in the blanks to like make them feel like real people. So in my mind, Vanessa just strikes me as much as she wants to be a star, she's also like a little bit of like a pack rat. She's like someone who like hangs on to things, which I think makes a lot of sense for someone who like sees themselves as like someone who's gonna like be a star one day. Maybe like they wouldn't want to get rid of too much, because in their minds, once they get famous, they'll want to look back on the stuff that they did before, or have them to show off and be like, this is like where I was, or what I believed in, or what I dreamed about before I was famous. It just seemed like something that like she would want to do. And through here is a little like laundry area. There wasn't really room in here for both a washer and dryer, so there's just a washer in unit and here, and if you wanted to, you can mirror that on the other unit as well for whoever you move in there. So I do have like a clothesline in the backyard for Vanessa to wash or to dry her clothes. That was a decent size, and like I said, like to me, like Vanessa's a little bit messier, so like there's kind of stuff all over here as far as like hair ties and brushes that we got with the bathroom clutter kit, of course the growing together shower tub combo that we are all attached to, and then like a toilet and like plunger over there. They come out and there's more area where she's got like stuff. Like to me, like she's the type of girl but like when she has friends over, she likes to play board games, so I did put like a couple board games and different like games that she could play with her friends, like this chessboard that came with the book nook kit, the little board games we got with growing together, and I put like another one on the shelf over here. She also is like a girly that I feel like is not very handy, so when things break, she kind of just like doesn't fix them. So that's what I really like about this shelf. It like looks like at some point she overloaded it and this shelf broke and she just like didn't fix it. And I did like load up this little like stand that she has a TV on with a lot of different colors as far as books and a board game and more magazines for her to kind of keep up on fashion and who's famous. And right like before you get to the kitchen is Vanessa's bedroom. I did try and like decorate it with in mind that she is a actress on the come up, so like again, like she kind of keeps her eye on what's going on, so to me she would kind of like frame like magazine clippings of like actresses or actors that she admires, and like keep movie posters for movies that she really likes and hopes to be cast in one day. So I have that, and then like obviously more clothes and shoes racks. This came with high school years, and like I said, like she is one of those people who holds on to stuff so that like when she makes it she can look back on it. So I did put this little keepsake box from Going Together here, because in my mind there's like old stuff in that box from when she was a kid still dreaming of an actress that she keeps in here to like pull out from time to time and look back on and really like. And of course our girlie always has to keep a beat face, so we do have a little vanity set that she comes to and does her makeup before she goes out for her gigs to try out for new roles. Over here is the kitchen area. I think it's really cute. I really love this tile. I think it comes from Jungle Adventure. We do have a backyard space, and for a lot of this I did take inspiration for what's around Del Sol, especially in this back alley area. There are a lot of like garages that lead into this area, so both of these units have a garage that go back out here. In my mind, Vanessa is a girl who on the weekends likes to go to like the Del Sol beachfront and, you know, water ski and surf. I know there's no beach in Del Sol, and you know, headcanon, but in my mind there's one somewhere. So she has that in her garage space and like a bike. For the surfboards, I sized up these skateboards to kind of look like surfboards and put them on the wall. I really like the way that looks on there because they do kind of look like surfboards. Wish we had real surfboards, but in the meantime, I used that on here. It kind of look like she grabs them off the walls and like attaches it to her car and heads to the beach when she wants to surf on the weekends. So last but not least, I have a final apartment building. This one actually took me the longest to build just because it was time consuming, and by the time I got to this one, my arm was starting to hurt from all the building I was doing. So I actually did this one over a series of 3 days over the Thanksgiving break. I'm super proud of how it turned out. I placed this apartment building in downtown Del Sol. This one is in the Starlight Boulevard neighborhood in the space that the Orchid A Go-Go lot was originally placed. I bulldozed it and put this apartment building there instead, and I still am developing this area, so I'm going to continue to work and make Del Sol more lively in the image of what I want it to look like. But in the meantime, this is the apartment building complex I built where that lot is supposed to go. It's called the Starlight Towers. These are like rich high-end apartments that are pricey because of the location mainly. Some of them are a little bit larger than the apartments that you would find anywhere else, but due to this lot being quite small, the space of each apartment is not quite as large as I might have liked. I mean, it is a 30 by 30 lot, so there's really only so big the units can be. This building, these towers really have 2 units each with a total of 4 units within this building. So there's not actually a whole lot of units in here, but in my mind, that is par for the course for, in-demand real estate areas where the location's really great. So there's not going to be as many units because not everyone can afford to live here. So we're going to come into the bottom of this building. In the first tower, the blue tower, the very bottom floor is like the reception area. Again, just like in the lower income apartment building I showed you in Mirage Park, the Sunset Heights apartment building, there is a reception area on the first floor where you can kind of apply to rent one of these units, or if you have like an issue with your unit, you can come over here and talk to somebody on the bottom floor. But as you can see, this area is a lot nicer than this area in the Sunset Heights buildings because this is like a way more upscale apartment building. Across from that reception desk is the little mail room. By the time I decorated this, I was losing steam, so the mail room ain't a whole lot to talk about. It's only like 4 mailboxes, and once I get my hands on 4 rent, I probably will update it with one of those like multi mailbox objects that we get with that pack, just because it makes, I think, a little bit more sense to utilize the space with that versus like 4 separate mailboxes. But that is that on that. And then like over here in this corner right by the staircase is a really small public bathroom for the reception staff to use, or anyone who's coming into this apartment building to fill out an application. They can come in here and quickly use this restroom. It's not too big, so it's just like a 1-person restroom, so there's that. So over here on the first floor, I did have the idea that these towers are sitting on top of commercial space. So on the bottom of this second tower, there are 2 like commercial areas that the Sims that live in these apartments can visit if they want a bite to eat or want some entertainment. And this building over here is like a really small gym, and I did playtest this to make sure all the stuff is functional. I had to move a couple things around to make it so that your Sims would be able to reach the punching bags and the treadmill, yoga mats, and the weight machines. So everything works, I promise you. I did move, I think this is not the version I saved at gallery because I did have to move this over here because it was blocking the door. But for the most part, when you download it off the gallery, and this one is already on the gallery, everything in here should work. Over here is a cafe that has like a cafe station and a boba station here, so you can come in here and get like a latte or a boba, and then there's like a little area where you can hang out with friends and talk. Over here it's like a really cool hangout spot. Obviously, if you're playing modless, like these commercial areas aren't necessarily going to be functional, especially if you use the residential rental lottery. Like there's not like a way within the game to make these functional, but if you don't play with mods, you can kind of like role play it to be kind of functional if you just hire a barista to man these areas over here. So we're gonna go down a floor before we go to see the units. So over here is the bar area. I've never made a bar in game before, but I'm super proud of how this one turned out. I don't know how this happened. When I was like taking pictures of my bar, I realized that I have like a completely different table for this one versus these other two. I might change that and fix that, but for now that's a thing. But you can come down here and get a drink and hang out with friends at this bar. It's not pretty large, but you can come in here, play darts, use the little jukebox, and if you come back over here, there's like a little bathroom area where there are 3 individual stalls. Right next to the bar is a little bowling alley, and again, this is another type of lot that I've never made before, but I really had a whole lot of fun with this. I don't know what happened to my stairs. For some reason, every single time I come into this lot, they disappear. But the one that's on the gallery should have the staircase attached to it. If not, let me know. I'll update that version so that it does have a staircase. I'm over here trying to remember which one I use. I believe it's this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the stairs back on here so that you know which ones I use. They're the ones that are in base game that are like the blue ones. As you can see, I'm placing them right now. So that's supposed to have a stair on it so that you could actually get to this top area. But yeah, over here there are 3 bowling alleys for your Sims to play and bowl with friends. Right next to where the bowling lanes are, there's a vending machine and like a retro jukebox for them to like play music. And then if they come up here, they get hungry after bowling, they can come over to this bar area and order food and drinks and sit in this little area and get food. In my mind, this is like a perfect spot for you to have like little birthday parties and such, so I use this little decorative centerpiece with the plates and the napkins and plastic silverware that I think we get with Parenthood. Somebody else correct me if I'm wrong if it's not in that. Get it with something. Anyway, that's the bowling alley. So on the second floor, in both towers, there are 1-bedroom apartments on both sides. They don't quite mirror each other, but they do have the same kind of configuration of it being a single bedroom and a bathroom, and then a very, very small kitchen. All the kitchens inside every one of these apartments are kind of this size where you kind of walk up into it. There's not a whole lot of counter space or cabinet space, but you kind of sacrifice kitchen for the balconies that you get in all of these units. Every single bedroom space inside this apartment has its own private balcony. So as you can see, this bedroom has its own private balcony, and the living space out here has a balcony out here, so you can kind of put like a couch and like everything like out in this area. They can hang out, and then there's a room over here to kind of put like a table in here if you want them to have a place to sit down and eat their food after they cook it. Across the hallway, again, a configuration of a single bathroom and the 1 bedroom's a steam, but it just looks a little bit different as far as like where everything is situated. These 1 bedroom, 1 bath on this floor have like the really nice corner tubs, but you do sacrifice having a shower for this, so that is something to consider, or at least in this one you do. In this one over here, you do get the growing together shower tub combo in this one, so I guess it just depends. Maybe someone who wants to rent this 1 bedroom takes baths more than they take showers, so they might want this unit over the other one. On the second floor, the 2 remaining units are 2-floor units, so they both have staircases that go to a second floor. These ones are definitely going to be priced higher than the ones on the first floor since they have 2 floors and more bedrooms. But as far as configuration, The first floor has that same kind of smaller kitchen area, a living space area where you can kind of put a couch, a TV, and kind of fit in a place to put like a table if you want, like for your kitchen for your Sims to eat at. And then there's the bedroom over here that has the balcony off of it on the side on this unit. But in the unit across the way, the bedroom on the first floor is a little bit smaller than the one across the hall. But on this side over here, you get another bathroom on the first floor, and on this unit there are 2 bathrooms as well, but they're both on the second floor, whereas in this unit there are 2 bathrooms, one on the first floor and one on the second floor. When you come up to the second floor in both units, you'll see that it's got like a little open part in the hallway around the banister that I really liked, and I put this really nice chandelier in both units for that center part to kind of make it look a little bit classier. These are nicer, higher end units, so that kind of gives that appeal that these units are moneyed. You need to have money to live here. So you come up onto the second floor, and the second unit over here across from the banister is a larger bathroom. You've got that nicer corner tub, but right in the corner over here is a little shower, so you have that option for this bathroom, as well as 2 sinks and a toilet. And then right next to that bathroom is a bedroom with a balcony, and another bedroom right next to that one that also has a smaller balcony on that side. And this top unit over here, you again have 2 bedrooms, and the bathroom over here is actually a half bath instead of a full bath. So sadly, you sacrifice a second tub for this unit on this side. You do have 2 bathrooms still. It's just that the second bathroom is not a full bath. It's like a 1.5 bath, where this unit over here has 2 full baths. So yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer, but hey, if they decide they want to renovate their unit somewhere down the line, you could probably make it work. You could change out this nicer tub and just put in a shower tub combo so that you have at least like a shower in this second unit. I had a blast making all of these multi-units, and I'm going to continue making them. I don't know if I'll do speed build for our channel because I just like to build on my own pace, and part of the reason I stopped doing speed builds on the channel is I would just instantly get builder's block as soon as the record button would start rolling, and it was just like not a fun experience for me. But as I've been sharing these builds on Twitter, people have expressed interest in me making speed builds so they can watch me make them. So it'll be something that I still have to think about whether or not I want to do that, but if I do, you guys will be the first to know. All of these builds will be on my gallery. My gallery idea is OBiGem. I'll put that ID on the screen so you guys don't forget it. So if you hop on the gallery right now, you can go ahead and download all of these builds and prep for rent. That does come out this Thursday on the 7th. So if you guys are excited as I am, go ahead and start prepping your worlds to have multi-unit lots, because that is what I'm all about right now. But right now, let me know what you think about these lots in the comment section down below. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, stay dazzled. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Promise you won't fight me. Promise you won't fight me. Love isn't what you used to.